It's in the middle of the day. Actually, middle of work day. In between making calls, I was going to take a little break and then decided to go for a little walk. Thought about calling my sister, but my sister came to me, so to speak. Marie had shipped Ryan's ashes, and it just came to the door. And I came to the realization that, it's the first time, well, I think anyway, might be, at least in my memory bank, which is not the greatest these days, is that it's the first time that I've been by myself. When Ryan died, when my mom had called, I was on the phone with a client. When Ryan died, when the sheriff came to the door, Carlos was there. And this was the first, like seeing it on the step. And it's ironic because, the family has been at the house, getting their keepsakes and that type of thing. But for whatever reason today, and it seems, rather quiet when the house is this. People have asked, how it feels now. And, everything feels weird. Everything is weird. But anyway, it was the first time being by myself when something like this has happened. And my initial reaction was, it kind of took my breath away, so to speak, when I saw the ashes there. I wrote today about you wouldn't understand. But, well before even Anthony and Ryan died, I'm all cried out. You really won't understand that. But it's one of those things where, seeing it, brings up emotions and stuff, but, I just can't, in essence, cry. I wanted to call somebody. I was going to call Marie and tell her that they came and, just been having, some moments even before this. And sometimes I feel like I can feel things before they happen. And so I decided to go for a walk. I will share the results of the walk after. But 10 things you can't do for me today. So one is that this is something that I think that is important in terms of the grieving process, is that everyone interacts and reacts differently. For me, one of my greatest strengths is being unique. I am who I am. You can't change who I am any more than you can change who you are. My strengths are my strengths. My weaknesses are my weaknesses. And, even like now, the most uncomfortable thing I could possibly do is record a video right now. So I did it. Because I think that it's important for me to share my most vulnerable moments. And I have over the course of the last several years, but I've always stopped. Usually because of people. So this is me in a different way. But in terms of the one way you can't help me today is that in the grieving process, there's not one theory or way people grieve. Over the years, there's been many different theories in terms of grief. You may be familiar with one, and that might resonate for you. And you may say that this happens in this way. And you may even tell people that's how you grieve. That may be how you grieve. But chances are it's not the same for me. I am very different in my processing. I think it goes back to, what are your core beliefs? And so my mantra and my speaking when I do, when I'm speaking, and, it's kind of what I think of every day, is to be grateful for everything and everyone. So if I believe that I need to be grateful for everything, then I have to be grateful for this too. And so then it becomes, what am I not grateful for? And there are plenty. So it's just all a work in process. So in terms of number one of how you can't help me today, is in the grieving process, I have to find my way. What you can do most of all for me is to be loving, kind, and compassionate. Being loving is, give you a couple examples. Like my friend Julie just sends me text messages periodically. My friend Linda will call me. My sister has been fantastic throughout this entire process. My friend Rowena called, I think it was, about a week ago or something, and it actually apologized that she didn't call right away. That's helpful, because everybody calls all at the same time right at the very beginning, because it's all shock. It's interesting, but it's only been a month. And number two things you can't help me with is that everybody, including yourself, is going through something. For me, what you can't help me is that I feel everything. And what I mean by that is that one of the reasons I don't reach out and talk to people, is that, even professionally, is that I feel everything. So when somebody calls me, and it was funny because I remember when Anthony died, a lot of times the conversation is me saying, hey, look, you'll be okay. You'll be okay. Because I feel other people's emotions. I can deal and I can handle with my own stuff, but it gets overwhelming other people's. So, number three is just being patient. And I think being patient with me and being patient with other people. And what I mean by that is that, last week we had a car, the driveway was, down the street, there was people at the house. And yesterday, there was the woman who does the enforcement of the neighborhood. She comes by in her golf cart, and she told one of the family members that, hey, can't park on there. You need to park in the driveway. And we instantly think in our mind of, you're doing something wrong. There's, we go to the negative, when in fact, hey, and I know this is a very difficult transition, but hey, nobody usually parks over here. Is everything okay? This isn't something nobody here does on a normal basis. Is everything good here? Number four. You can't help me for the rest of the day. It's interesting because people will say, well, even like with work, hey, do you want to take the day off? Well, I'm in a sales job. Sales job means that I need to be doing things that are getting me closer to where I need to be. I've said many times that life doesn't stop just because I need it to stop. That's the same with everyone. There are people right now that are going things through you cannot possibly imagine. And number five, what you can't help me with today is understanding. We can't understand what anybody's going through. We really can't. I've been told that the worst thing that someone could possibly have happen is for their child to die. The only thing worse is having two children die, or other children die. But I don't know. I think that, having someone missing, and you spend your entire life not knowing. I think that that's even more difficult. If somebody was incarcerated for hurting someone else, worse is ending someone's life. I think that would be worse, especially if it's a loved one, on either end of that. I think that number 6, what you cannot help me with, is by not helping yourself. What I mean by that is that I think that what I've learned more than anything else is that, even right now, learning how many people, kids, 5-year-old kid just a few minutes ago, got told that their parents were told that they have cancer, terminal cancer, and their child's 5 years old. Someone yesterday, the mom begged the hospital staff to do something for her husband, and father of 3 children, who is dying of COVID, and there's nothing they can do. Everybody's got something they're going through, and the best thing that you can do to help me is just to help somebody else. Be kind, be considerate. I think we're on 7. If not, hey, doesn't really matter. Number 7 on how you can't help me. Is, I think that goes with, you can't help me by judging. And I think that that's so important to bring up. One of the reasons I speak up is because just because you look away doesn't mean it's going to go away. I think it's important to show up. And, I remember when the day that Ryan died, the comment of, "What's up with your family?" And there was, I love sometimes when somebody is so completely inappropriate and so completely real, and that it is very real to wonder, what did you do wrong? What did they do wrong? So many people have a judgment towards suicide, towards overdose, but nobody really looks and takes the time to look at the life, the stories, the trauma, the pain that someone's going through. But it's easier that way, We all got to find ways to cope, and sometimes it's easier to judge. I just ask, if you're going to judge anybody, I'd rather you judge me than judge somebody else, because I can handle it. But remember, when you just never know what someone else is going through. And number 8, what you can't help me with today is that the things that I have to do by myself, and one of the things is, you can't help me by not meeting me where I'm at. It's easy to bring in your own stuff, saying, like talking to somebody. I've went to psychologists, and there's times for that I've went to therapists, but what I do is right. And I know that might not be enough for you. Same thing as my whole thing is practicing kindness and practicing love. And I know a lot of people I've talked to said, well, that's not enough. You need something more than that. You got to have something other than just love. Well, how about this? What if that's all there is? And that when you look around, all there is love. You look at trees and the sky and, other people, and other people, people will do horrible things and have done very mean things to you. But oftentimes those that do the worst are hurting the most. Doesn't change the fact that they shouldn't. We've all screwed up. We've all done things we shouldn't have done. And none of us are immune from saying things, doing things that we shouldn't. So, number 9, how you cannot help me. You can't help me by, and I think this is probably the most vulnerable, is you can't help me by, saying I just can't handle this. Because nobody can. And I understand that it's just as difficult for you as it is for me, or maybe more so in different ways. But it doesn't help. Sometimes, it's like, what can you do? Just show up. Show up however it is, and be patient, a lot of time, I'm not someone who likes to talk. I like this platform because it's a monologue. I don't like to talk. I love to speak, and I love public speaking. I love being in front of the camera. But that's because I'm kind of control the situation. I'm not someone that likes to go and talk to someone, because sometimes it just pisses me off. And that's being honest. Because the main reason is I don't need advice. I don't need to be recruited in whatever thought, belief, or process that you have. I just need to be heard. I just need to be valued. And I need to just feel like that you are there. And that's all that matters. However that shows up, or, it doesn't matter. I think we're at number 10. What you can't help me with today. You can't help me with what I'm feeling. Because you know what? You can say, how are you? And I know I've said in the video before this that, that's a difficult question to ask because you sometimes don't know. I got to tell you, I ask the same things. How are you? But part of it is if you do ask, be genuinely concerned, be okay with someone's response. It's so funny how often this happens. Somebody will say, how you doing? Not good. Okay, well, moving right along. Move along. Come on. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. Whoa. We need to hurry this up. Get over it. Do what you got to do, but nothing to see here. Okay, nothing to see here because yeah. And I think that it's so funny that in feeling other people, there's a reason why people don't talk a lot. There's a reason why people don't share a lot. There's a reason why people don't be vulnerable. There's a reason why, people don't do a lot of things. And that's, I think, because of the response of others. With that, I said that I would share what I did when I went for a walk, my thought that went for my walk. And I have this idea. I have no idea if anybody's even listened to this far. By the way, I didn't have anything made up in terms of this at all. It's just all off the cuff on my top of my head. But what I would like to have as an idea is that I would like to write a book. So how about this? I have a website. I need help with figuring out how to edit it and add stuff. But I'd like to write in real time. So the idea is I write on my website and have donations. So if you like with what I'm writing, you can pay me. If you hate what I write, you can pay me more. But being able to just go through and write in real time, just write it all out and share that. So, kind of just, nobody really gets the process. And just being able to put it out there of, unedited raw. And then once it's finally finished, then publish it. And then if you've been following it all the way through, then I publish it, and then, that gets published and that gets distributed in, in a more conventional way. I don't know. That just came to me as I was walking. So, along with the ashes came some other things. So I'm going to go look at that. And I got to get back to work. So, thank you for helping me. And so you have helped me by watching this. You have helped me by showing up. You have helped me by supporting me. You have helped me by being you. You have helped me by being loving to yourself. You have helped me by you having an amazing day today. You have helped me by helping another person in this world in some way that they may never know. You have helped me by being a kind and loving human being. You have helped me by understanding that we need more love and compassion and understanding in this world. You have helped me by, even for a second, not judging someone who may respond differently than you do to something. You have helped me by not looking away, knowing that it's as difficult to look at me as it is looking at you. You have helped me by being the best you possibly can today and always. You have helped me by grieving in your own way, celebrating in your own way, and living in your own way that is in line with your higher self, in line with not hurting yourself and others. And you've helped me today in allowing me to do this.